Welcome to Graeme Games. My name is Graeme. This is a game. Today I'm playing Insane Orb from wvaldez. This is a 17-year-old Flash game, and it is the most played game on ALL of Newgrounds. It has about 47 million plays. Friday Night Funkin is hot on its tails. In a matter of months, weeks, whatever it is, it will surpass it. Just on the trajectory it's on, it's inevitable. And so we're here to appreciate the final days of this before it's dethroned here. Somewhat funnily enough, this game actually has an Insane Orb DX edition that has like 100,000 plays. The original is what it's all about. I'm a little curious if it reached that top spot and then people would filter games and then just go to it because it was in the top spot and it was just this like snowballing effect. There's a lazy mode. I don't plan to turn on lazy mode. Objects. There's a negative gravity field, positive gravity field, block, mystery guest. I don't know, there's a lot going on. But basically, it's Pong. I don't know if you may have seen that coming, but yeah, it's Pong. It's special Pong. Like I can shoot the guy, and there's the gravity wells and things that start to come into play, and that's where things get truly wild. You could use that to force your orb along. Oh, it's curving it back around. Push it through. Nice. I have to get up to like 75 to win. Can I get 75 and 0? Is that like a reasonable target? Okay, maybe not. Immediately the gravity and stuff started messing with my mind the second it came into play, even just a little bit. I love that the sound effects are like Mario bumping his head on a block and shooting a fire flower projectile. There's just something so classic and janky about like making your own sound effects working with a sound designer or going to like a website with a library of free sound effects. That is not in the spirit of Flash. Instead, we must go through and just rip sound effects from existing titles. That's how it need be done. I did not anticipate the ball being able to collide with those. That's actually really fun. They don't count for points though. Nothing to that. I think this is the thing that labeled as being like a guest character, and I'm trying to think of what game that would be. It seems familiar. It seems familiar to me in some small way. Oh, he almost got his first point on me. Sneaking it through. I'll show you. Oh, damn it. Oh, no. I guess I'm not as clever as I wanted. I was just about to smack talk him real hard, and he turned it around on me. I have no idea if there's set times that this changes. Like, if it's time-based or score-based or anything like that. That just layers into the insanity. The fact that there's so little predictability going on there. That's a part of it. Oh, Pac-Man! But then he's also working like Sonic. It's not Pac-Man at all. No, it is. It is. But it's also all messed up and weird, and I think as long as you like kind of knock it out of his mouth, you're good. There's like boss battle music and stuff going on though that's like kind of great. I can see, I've played 1,000 Flash Pong games before. It's like, I think I've made a Flash Pong game once. It was regular Pong. I didn't do anything special with it. I was just playing around with trying to learn the basics of programming. And yeah. Oh, we're starting to get the gravity wells not just in the center. I assumed it would remain like that the whole time. Damn you. Well, now it's just a matter of winning by a lot, not by winning by 75. There's a choppiness to the way the ball moves that I'm guessing is related to like a frame rate, essentially, and that this game was just made with a really low frame rate, or it's some limitation of the fact that it's probably programmed in like the earliest version of the Flash programming language. The fact that this game exists at all, that could be 2000. I'm underappreciating how long ago 2004 was. Most of the things that you would consider a Flash classic, with the exception of the early pioneers like Pico's School, like didn't exist yet. Really, the main thing is just making sure you hit it with your fire flower attack. It rarely skates through without it. You mostly just want to push her on through. I love how, like, poor Pac-Man is at chasing it sometimes. There's, like, drift, and he has to, like, make these really precise turns, and it doesn't always work very well. It's funny that it's a combination of Mario and Sonic sound effects with Pac-Man as a character. It's the ultimate crossover. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, you were way late to the game. Insane Orb had done it over a decade earlier. Something was going wonky there. He never shoots. Pac-Man never helps me. He's exclusively on the side of evil and destruction and chaos. I'm assuming a lot of the narrative of this game, but, you know, based on reading between the lines, I'd say that's how it all stacks up. Oh, I'm only doubling him now. That's worrisome. Maintaining my lead, trying to stretch it back out so I've more than double their points. That's the metric I've set for myself for the time being. Until, you know, I inevitably lose a bunch of points, get scored on a bunch of times in a row, and I move that goalpost further away so that I don't collapse into some sort of depressiveness of considering myself like an irredeemable failure. So, you know, as long as you keep setting yourself new targets that are more attainable, then, like, nothing can ever really bring you down, right? You're always succeeding as long as you're willing to compromise what you consider success to be. And that's really, it's the secret to Insane Orb, but I would say it's the secret to most things in life as well. Lower your bar just like you would lower the bar of your Pong paddle. But, you know, that analogy only carries so far because your bar that you hit this orb with also goes up sometimes. Ignore that part of the equation. Only focus on the down part. Oh, massive. We're entering legit boss battle. I think it must be tied to the score you have, because that seemed to happen right as soon as we got our 55th point. So now we have to get 20 points, presumably. Like, it might change once more, but I think I have to get 20 points against this damn thing that, like, very actively is capable of chasing the ball. So you have to knock it right out of his dumb mouth. That's the secret. You just gotta shoot it at him as soon as he's, like, grabbed it. So it's a very different approach than to the whole strategy I just laid out a second ago. Take it all back. None of it applies. Those rules were garbage. Don't play Insane Orb that way. Don't live your life that way. I was wrong about everything. We're getting small background changes with 5 additional points. I'm guessing every 5 will have something a little extra happening. If you knock it out of his mouth, then you get like a freebie, but sometimes he spits it out that half a second before and you end up just knocking it back into his mouth. Those are bad. Those don't go so hot. 1 point from, not from winning, but from 65. What do we think will happen? Place your bets. Make your predictions. Perhaps we'll get a guest appearance from, I don't know, a character who didn't even exist yet. Master Chief. Nothing happened. 2004. I actually, now that I really think about it, when was the first Xbox? I never owned one. Was Master Chief that old? That's a real possibility. Come on, you poser. Surely at 70 you'll have something for me. This game didn't get nearly 50 million plays just for you to welch out at the end there and not have any special anything for me at the finish line. Come on, give it all you got. That's what I'm talking about. That's the sort of meaningful color palette change that I would expect from being that far near completion. Two points to go, and I'm way ahead of doubling his points. This is going phenomenally well. That was poor. I just actively moved myself out of the way. Damn it. I have to think, actually, as soon as it took away the gravity wells, that did make a huge difference. They were like one mechanic away from layering in some level of difficulty that I was never even going to be able to achieve, well beyond any reasonable person's capabilities. Boom! Conquered it. Complete. Amazing. Best there ever was for the highest played game there ever was. It's pretty phenomenal. It's a pretty phenomenal piece of history, and it puts into perspective how, like, just out of control large Friday Night Funkin' is as a game. That it's dethroning something that's 17 years old in the span of like a year, less than a year. That's wild. That is absolutely insane. Kudos to wvaldez for holding the throne this long, and kudos to the Friday Night Funkin team for that well-earned victory and taking it for themselves. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon.